Two former top military commanders took the stand over America's withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021. Former military officials blamed the State Department for waiting too long to order evacuations. Former Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley admitted to not knowing the number of Americans or Afghans who were left behind. 13 U.S. service members and 170 Afghans were killed in August of 2021 during the withdrawal following a suicide bomb attack at the Kabul airport. Retired chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff Mark Milley sent a message to those service member families.
And we'll live with that for the rest of the days of our lives. There's no military leader who's lost troops in combat who does not know that feeling. So this is personal to me. And I will do everything in my power to ensure that these families and all of our veterans and families know the truth and have the answers.
Joining us now for more is the House Foreign Affairs Chair, Republican Representative McCaul of Texas. Congressman, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Linsey.
You led that hearing today with the former general saying at the beginning, when talking about the Biden administration's withdrawal strategy, as the saying goes, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Were you satisfied with what you heard today from the former generals?
Well, you know, they have a lot of integrity. They appeared voluntarily before my committee. You have the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and the CENTCOM commander, and I know both of them personally very well over the years, and I wouldn't question their credibility. What they're basically saying is that the president disregarded their advice from day one, even with respect to the evacuation itself. And then if you're going to do the evacuation, you need a plan of execution for the evacuation itself, which the State Department by law is required to do. The State Department wholly failed to do this, and the plan really wasn't even discussed until the fall of Kabul and the evacuation of the embassy. And I think that is what led to the chaos at HKIA. We had the Gold Star families there who lost their children due to the suicide bomber. That was a massive bombing attack. And it was a very powerful, emotional testimony. And it could have been done differently. My goal is to ensure that if we ever have to evacuate a country like this again, we won't make the same mistakes.
As you well know, more than 30 months after 76,000 Afghan refugees arrived on military planes, Congress still has not created a path to legal permanent residency. Many of those refugees worked with U.S. forces as interpreters. It'll be 3 years in September since this rushed withdrawal. Congress has yet to approve the Afghan Adjustment Act, which would create those pathways to permanent residency. What do you think needs to happen in order to get this bipartisan bill across the finish line?
Well, I've been working very closely with Ranking Member Meeks. Look, if we're gonna complain about Americans left behind, but Afghan partners, as in the case of the special immigrant visas, being left behind, we promise to protect them. Then we need to put our money, where our mouth is, right? So the good news is, as we're negotiating this final spending package, my understanding is we are going to raise the SIV cap. I can't get into the numbers specific right now. I would like it to be as high as 20,000, and I think we're going to get somewhere close to that. That's very good news, and it was done in a very bipartisan manner, and it's long overdue to help these Afghan partners with visas.
And does Speaker Johnson approve of this?
He is. He is moving forward based upon my recommendation and the recommendations of those both on the House Armed Services Committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, both in the House and the Senate.
As we've reported today, the Supreme Court allowed a law to take effect in your home state of Texas, where authorities can arrest people who they suspect are migrants here illegally, regardless of federal law, and even send them to Mexico. Latinos, as you well know, make up 40% of the Texas population. Advocates are worried that this could lead to profiling. Are you concerned at all that people may get accused of not being here legally who actually are?
Well, this is a product of the federal government not doing its job and allowing my state, putting all the burden of border security on my state, both financially and from a law enforcement standpoint. When I was a federal prosecutor, we would often deputize state and locals to do federal responsibilities. And I don't see this as differing very much from that. It just enables law enforcement to do its job when they see a crime. It is a crime to enter the country illegally, and that is what the Supreme Court has held.
Representative Michael McCaul, we thank you so much for your time tonight. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Linsey. Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.